Assalamualaikum. My name is Sumaya, but you can call me Sumi. And I'm so excited today because this is my first podcast. Okay, the reason why I'm super excited about this show is because I wanted to have something that is relatable for Muslim women that's living nowadays. So the reason why we're having this podcast today is I hope that I can share stuff with you guys that make Islam relatable, Muslims relatable, how it is like for us, for Muslim women to live in this century, in this era, you know, and how it is for us to slowly pave our way and try to become a better Muslim ourselves. So this is not a story about how, you know, perfect things should be. This is a story about imperfect things and how we try to build a journey towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So just like any other person, I think most Muslims, we are born Muslims, right? So it's the same with me. I was a born Muslim. My parents, I inherited this religion, this wonderful religion. However, I can't really connect to it. My mother taught me how to read the Quran, and just like anybody else, I know my tajweed, guys. I can tell you, I can read Arabic perfectly with all my harakah and everything, but as soon as you ask me what does it mean, I don't know. But I know that I have to pray 5 times a day, I have to fast, I can celebrate Eid, I love all the, you know, holidays. But beyond that, I didn't really know a lot. So what happened was, in my life, as I got more and more exposed to the world, I started to not have a connection with Islam. So the only connection that I have was obviously what I was born with culturally. And then so when I went to study overseas and everything, I started to take one step back and back and back from my deen. And unfortunately, that also brought me to not really believe in the religion Islam, which was really sad. But alhamdulillah, I'm going to tell you the story. Don't see now how I end up. Relax, don't judge me first. So as I wouldn't say I was an atheist. I didn't believe that there was God, but I didn't believe in an organized religion, you know. Let's face it, let's be honest, in this world, are Muslims really inspiring? You tell me, can we be honest here? Not really. There are Muslims that are inspiring, but obviously in this day and age that we're living, a lot of the countries, Muslim countries, are at war, whether we want to admit it or not, in terms of women, you know, how we should protect and give opportunities for women. It's really lacking in our society. So it's not really inspiring to be Muslims. So I felt like maybe I don't want to be a Muslim. That was the reason why. And as I didn't have religion, obviously, I went to search for a religion. But anyway, so I went backpacking to Thailand, guys, to cari religion. Wadaps. I felt like cerita Mak Saleh sikit. So like Eat, Pray, Love with Sumi. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I do feel like there is a higher being. You know, whether people like to say whatever, but ultimately, right, when we're facing through, we will say, please God help me. So ultimately, I do believe that there was a higher being. So I continued searching. However, what happened was, my father passed away. There was a time when my father passed away, and then 5 months after that, my brother pula passed away. So it's like back to back, you know, I lost people in my life. And I was really completely shattered. I was completely shattered because I felt like, macam, what is the point of living if people that we love are going to die? And you'll be surprised, at this age, so I was probably like 26 years old when this happened. I wasn't that bad looking. Perasan, I know. I had a good career, okay, when I was young. I was making good money, and I had friends, you know, friends, people that I hang out with. But when I go home at night, I started crying. I was like, why? Before I go to sleep, I need to cry myself to sleep. I felt like there was something wrong with me. Like, why? So I felt like I had to be on a journey. I had to find out what is my purpose in life. And kebetulan at that time, that's when I got married. So I got married to a guy, which I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more because it's funsies. My cerita is funsies, inshallah. This Muslim guy, I told him, I was all in skirts, no agama, and I told him, I didn't do crazy stuff lah. But I told the guy, if you love me, you have to accept me for who I am, and don't force religion onto me. I'm not a Muslim, you have to accept this. And ultimately, he macam agreed to marry me. So he went for Umrah, and then after he came back, he said, okay, I think I'm ready to marry you. And I was like, you sure not you went to Umrah or you went Vegas? I don't know. So we got married, and when we got married, he wanted to learn about the deen more. So he became more and more religious. So he would wake up for subuh and I'll be snoring away and I'll be wearing sexy. Oh my god, this is one time where I met his mom. I was in a skirt. I think jantung dia dung 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 dung. Oh my god, this skirt. Awak lah tak boleh pakai panjang sikit. So ultimately, when we got married, as he was learning more about Islam, he became more and more of a gentleman. Which was like, macam Muslims kan to me not inspiring. So macam, apa Muhammad ni macam lagi gentleman and more nicer to me. And best lah kan macam being a woman in the 21st century, macam kita dah biasa bayar 50-50, right? Macam I contribute to the family, you contribute to the family, I tolong you, cari duit. And this guy that I married, macam the more he learned about Islam, he was like, no, it's okay. Like your money is your money, like I will work and I will provide for you. Even though we don't have a lot, which by the way I have to tell you guys, because we did naik motor kapcai. We had to go through that period where we naik motor kapcai, but no matter what, my husband was very proud to say to me that, don't worry, I will provide. Walaupun tak banyak, I will provide for you. And we will make this life macam our life together. Chai sikit kan? Chai. But there was this one time where I was going through depression. Kan my father passed away, then my brother passed away, and I baru kahwin. And what happened was, as he was going through all these classes, one time tu, macam I was so depressed. I couldn't really macam get up for work. I don't know, macam I actually don't know tau that depression is actually like, it can hit you like that. So my husband told me, actually sayang, dia cakap, you don't have to work. You know, it's my responsibility to take care of you. And I cakap lah to him, I said, yeah, but I have debts. This is before I got married to you. You know, I have to buy a kereta. Biasalah, I kan nak hidup the big life. I mestilah ada hutang kereta dengan semua-semua hutang-hutangnya. Then my husband told me, InsyaAllah, like he said, don't worry, I will try to find the money to pay off those debts. What? I was just sweetnya Muhammad ni. So ultimately, because he was so sweet to me, like he basically took care of me. You know, for a guy to accept me for who I am and to take responsibility for all the that I have dengan hutangnya, I was like, what is he doing? Like, is that something that I don't know about Islam? You know, maybe I should look into it again. Of course, ultimately it took a guy lah, my husband, to actually macam be a really nice man to take responsibility of me, for me to, you know, macam open back Quran. So I was like, okay lah, fine. Before ni, I only know Islam through what people tell me. I said, forget it. I want to know really what is in the Quran. Because I know how to read. And people tell me, I have so many ustad here. My mom is religious. Please don't judge me by my mom. She is religious. So when I grew up, I have this class tau. Class agama ni, class ni, all these things lah. But this time I say, put that aside. Put all that aside, I say, Sumaya, why don't you go and find out for yourself what Islam actually means to you if you want to embrace this religion. So I went to Kinokuniya, I got a book. It was just a direct translation in English of what is in the Quran, and I read it cover to cover. Baca macam buku, baca, highlighter lah ada dengan note tepinya, why Allah say like this, macam-macam, just conversations with me and that book. And after I finished that book, I was like, what? I was so macam, what? This is in that book? I was like, of course I will blame everybody why I'm not Muslim. I thought that was the most amazing book. I felt like this book cut through me. Macam this author that wrote this book, it's like it knew me. It knew what it was going on in my heart, and it hit me 1, 2, 3. When you read the Quran, there's no force in religion. You have to embrace it by yourself. It has to come from your heart. Everything that I felt, macam this book was like bam, bam, bam. It just had a way of speaking to me direct through. It just went straight through my wall. And that's when I closed that book, after finished cover to cover, and I took my Shahadah. I said, I am a Muslim. I am a Muslim. I am a Muslim. Lantaklah orang cakap apa ke, aku pakai skirt ke, I'm a Muslim. I'm a Muslim. And I was so happy to actually become a Muslim. And from there on, you get the Sumi. That is who she is today. But that's just half of my story. So of course lah, bila kita tengah enthusiastic about Islam and everything, you know, before when I had Deen, my lifestyle was obviously not as it is today lah. So I had to look for new friends because I feel like I have this enthusiasm. I just feel like I want to tell the world, this book is so amazing. Do you know what's in this book? But then like my friend macam, apa dia ni kan, macam weirdnya kan. So I had to look for new friends and I found this amazing group of people called Young Muslims Project. And they were like me as well. They found Islam really amazing, but we were so berkobar-kobar to do work, to do Islamic work, to do dakwah work, to do, you know, and we went through a lot of crap together as well. We fought and we cried, you know, biasalah. You were young, but we had this semangat to do stuff together and we did wonderful stuff and they became my friends and they are still my friends now. And from there, I met amazing people and I discovered about this amazing bayinah. I don't know if you guys know it, but that's when I actually for once heard an ustad who actually talked to me like I am normal, like he made me feel like I'm normal. So you know how like when you hear all this seerah and they're talking about like amazing people, but then you're like, yeah, but they're up there and they're there, you know, these people do amazing things. But then there was an ustad who actually can talk to like messed up like me and made me understand that if I want to understand the Quran, it's not that hard. He made it super relevant to people like me. And that's my journey of how I started my company. It was actually because of the Quran. So I was born in a well-to-do family. Of course I know fashion. Of course I spend my dad's money doing fashion, buying fashion. So I only knew that macam if you want to be a Muslim, like if you are really religious, you will not care about what you wear. I was like, damn, I have to let go of fashion, you know? But it wasn't until I read the Quran that, no, like, where did we get this idea that we have to be ugly if we're Muslims? Where did I get this idea? So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about the story of Prophet Adam, alayhi salam, Iblis, and our great-grandma, Hawa. So these three characters are super relatable. Okay, so I'm gonna like, oh my god, why is Iblis relatable to me? Chill. There's a reason why it's in the Quran, because it's relatable. So there's this guy who actually worked his ass off to be at a level where he was the superior lah. Okay, so imagine you're working in a company and you know, like you started from, I don't know, like a tea lady or something, and then you work your ass off to become the night president or you call it assistant, I don't know, like assistant MD or something, or head of operations lah. You're just one step closer to become the MD. So you've been working off all the way up there, and then come lah budak hingusan yang tak ada experience. And the boss says, wait, actually this is my anak here, this is the one that's going to be the MD. Of course you feel like so disappointed, right? And that is what Iblis actually felt. So this story about Iblis is how Prophet Adam inherited this earth. So you're going to say, how does that relate to clothing? Because actually, when Iblis felt shamed, okay, Iblis was shamed. I'm not going to get through the whole story. So he wanted Prophet Adam to feel the same way. So he worked his ass off to get something, and he didn't get it. Obviously, he felt like, and he felt like I was shamed in front of everybody, so I want Prophet Adam to feel the same way. So when he tricked Prophet Adam, one of the things that was taken away from Prophet Adam, okay, was clothing. Because clothing is actually part of Jannah. In Jannah, we were made to wear clothes. Clothes is for beautification. And I only learned that through Quran. So clothes are part of things that we enjoy in Jannah. So when Iblis tricked Prophet Adam, our clothes were taken away. And when Prophet Adam learned from Allah SWT what to say, how to apologize, he said he's sorry. Allah sent back clothing. Allah gave us back clothing. So I'm going to read you a little bit about this ayat from the Quran that really inspired me to do what I do. Allah says in the Quran, O children of Adam, that's me, we have bestowed clothing upon you to cover yourself and for beautification. But the clothing of taqwa is better. These are among the signs, so that you will remember. So basically, Allah SWT says in here, Qad anzalna, that means we sent you. Clothing is not something that we invented. Kalau lah ikutkan, if it wasn't for Allah, we would have been animals. We would have been naked. Probably I had fur, but I don't know. Do you know what I mean? But basically, I wouldn't be wearing clothing. So clothing was actually sent from Jannah again for us so that we can enjoy. So clothing, there are two purposes of clothing that I discovered as I was reading the Quran. So it's not as I thought, like if you're religious, please don't care about how you look. No, Allah says there's two purposes of clothing. It's that it's for to cover you so that you will be dignified, right? Clothing is for us to feel dignified. And secondly, it's for you to enjoy beautifying yourself. Which I was like, huh? I thought clothing, well, okay, I was wrong. Allah says no, there's two purposes. But Allah also reminds me that the best kind of clothing is taqwa, which people cannot see. Because clothing is something that people can see, right? The best clothing for me is actually so that I establish a relationship with Allah and know that what is my purpose in this life. I have that connection with Allah. This is something that was missing as Iblis was doing all the hard work of earning to be the leader, whatever. He forgot in all his arrogance with all the things that he did, all his deeds that he did, he forgot why he's doing all this. So that as we are covering up, we remember that the reason why we cover up, is actually so that it pleases Allah. So it goes back to there, I feel lah. So I discovered that, and that's why I started my company. And also Allah says, so that these are the signs so that you will remember. For me, when I wear clothes, I remember that I'm not made for this earth. This earth is for me to work my ass off. So that I remember where I am from. And I'm from Jannah. I'm from this place where I can just party, and where people are beautiful, people don't die. Because it's sad when family members die. And this is a place where people don't die, they're happy, people are dignified, nobody's doing crap to each other. So this is why I do what I do. I make clothes so that I will remember where I'm from. But I also know that in this world, our purpose in life is to worship Allah by becoming useful. What is our contribution to the society? So as I'm making clothes, I'm also making clothes for women to be active. And what I mean by active is not just macam you doing sports. I'll make pants for women so she can move easier, she can cover and look pretty, and be easier for her to do what she has to do so that she can earn that Jannah. So I had this impression before that if I'm religious, I have to look like an old hag. I cannot care about how I look, which is wrong. Allah says in the Quran, no, that is not the purpose of clothing sahaja. It's not just for covering, it's for beautification and so that I can remember. So hopefully, when people wear alam, what my contribution is that people remember that we're not from this earth, and ultimately, this earth is for us to work out of, so we get to earn Jannah. I hope my podcast today has given you a little bit of highlight, a little bit of like snippets of my life, how I came to Islam. And ultimately, that you don't see perfection from me, that you see all my imperfections, and I'm just like any other woman. I'm just trying to make my way towards God. It's really about my journey towards finding why am I here on this earth? What is my purpose and how I can get back to where I belong. I'm confident. I feel I'm going to get Jannah because Allah is nice. But yeah, so stay tuned for the next one because inshallah there'll be more to come and more fun people that I want to invite. If you like my video today, whatever that I've shared, I need you to like. Yes, take that finger of yours, click like and subscribe to Naura Shares, and don't be afraid to comment. I want to hear what you have to say so that we and I, all the team over here that you can't see, can produce more of this kind of content. Yeah? Sumi Jones signing off and hoping to party with you in Jannah, baby.